The plants and animals that live in the Bay region include the great blue heron, jellyfish, California poppy, and the leopard shark. The great blue heron depends on both salt and fresh water. The salt water is for it to catch fish, and the fresh water is for it to drink. Jellyfishes also depend on fresh water and salt water. The jellyfish that depends on fresh water is called the freshwater jellyfish. Some jellyfishes are translucent yellow, pink, and green. The California poppy depends on fresh water because it is a plant. It is the state flower of California, and it is illegal to cut, pull, or damage this flower unless approved from owner. The leopard shark depends on salt water for it to swim and catch fish. You can find it in the northeastern ocean in cool warm temperatures.
An example of an estuary food web is the primary producers, the base of the food web. All the life around the San Francisco Bay Estuary is part of a who eats whom, or also known as the food web. Green plants form the base of the food web by using the energy of the sunlight to create simple organic composers that forms photosynthesis. Because these plants form from organic composers from inorganic composers, they are the primary producers. A plant may become food for another small animal, which in return may be eaten by another animal but larger in size. Because they eat food that has already been converted to an organic form, therefore, these animals are called secondary producers.
The productivity of plants and animals' growth in the San Francisco Bay Estuary is high. An estuary is where a river meets the sea. The San Francisco Bay is part of a large estuary. Estuaries have a lot of water and are full of decaying plants and animals. This makes the soil in estuaries rich in nutrients. The soil is rich because lots of different plants grow in estuaries. Animals drop things for various of fertilizer for the estuary. An estuary is very protected, which is mainly why animals live in estuaries. Animals' growth in estuaries are rapid because many animal species rely on estuaries for food. Brackish slime is another reason for rich soil. Salinity also is important in estuaries. Salinity is a measure of how much sea salt is contained in the unit of water. Salinity of the ocean is relatively constant.
An estuary like the San Francisco Bay Estuary is a partly enclosed coastal body of water with streams flowing outward to the open sea. The San Francisco Bay Estuary is being affected by environmental factors such as wind, water, and gravity. These factors affect things like beaches, buildings, and islands, but it mostly erodes the San Francisco Estuary. Environmental factors are identifiable elements in the physical, economical, and technological environments that affect the survival and growth of organisms. These specific factors affect the San Francisco Bay Estuary: water, wind, gravity, oil spills, and trash. These factors affect the estuary by eroding the land and poisoning the water. Most of these factors kill and hurt other organisms.
The San Francisco Bay Estuary has changed by human development. In 1848, James Marshall discovered gold, and people around the world found out and traveled to California to find their own gold. Over 30,000 people, along with thousands of immigrants, were overwhelming the city, building houses and more stores. Then in 1869, the West Coast had fringed the Transcontinental Railroad, destroying mountains and building through cities. The bay won't be a bay but a small river if we keep on building on their land.
The Bay Area has been greatly affected by the invasion of exotic species because of the San Francisco Estuary. It represents a highly altered ecosystem. The region has been re-engineered to accommodate needs of water, delivery, shipping, agriculture, and most recent suburban development. The species got affected because of sediment being dumped in the estuary. An estuary is a partly enclosed coastal body of water. The spread of exotic organisms in regions outside of native range has emerged as a major environmental, economy, and public health problem. Recent studies have found exotic organisms as second threat. Around 8,000 or 9,000 years ago, the seas rose and came to the San Francisco Bay. The plant and animal life began to flourish. These needs have direct changes in the movement of water.
How has the ecosystem of the Bay Area estuary changed over time? The ecosystem of the Bay Area estuary changed over time because the Bay Area ecosystem is a highly changed ecosystem. Also, this region has been heavily reconstructed the needs of water delivery, shipping, agriculture, and the suburban development. I've noticed that the San Francisco estuary has been in a geologic and hydrologic transition. The moving of water out of the estuary is complicated and dependent upon a number of factors. I also noticed that the tidal cycles causes water to move toward and away from Golden Gate 4 times in a 24-hour period. There is a fact that the San Francisco Bay is a key link in the Pacific Flyway. I also noticed that the changes of the climate, hydrologic, engineering, shifting water needs, and newly introduced species will continue to change the food web configuration of the estuary.